Yo, what's up? This your boy Dante coming to you with a quick episode of Keeping It a Buck. Listen, last night I was watching Dan Bongino destroy this leftist that tried to bait him. It blew my mind. It blew my mind. I'm telling you the truth. And so I wanted to show you the guys this video and just see how these leftists try to bait people into baseless arguments. And they really don't have any proof behind whatever they're saying, so they try to get attitude. I mean, I'm gonna let you check it out for yourself. But before we go into this content, I need you to like, share, comment, and subscribe. To all you guys that are subscribing, man, I really want to tell you thank you. I mean it from my heart. Again, I don't get to do the videos like I want to because I'm working, trying to go to church, trying to do a whole lot of other stuff, and so it's not that I'm neglecting you guys, man, because I appreciate everything you guys are doing, you know. And again, thank you for growing this channel. As always, I'm gonna keep it real, you know. So again, I need you to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Let's get past this algorithm. Come on, man. I mean, again, voices like mine and voices like yours need to be heard, because the reason why they're taking over and this tyranny is taking over is because we're silent. Like they say, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. We got to make some noise, man, so we can get some grease around here. Because right now they're trying to take over our liberties and our freedoms, and we can't have that, you know. And again, y'all know how I feel about the kids. Leave the children alone. Please leave the kids alone. And adults, we need to stand up and be adults, and we need to stand up and get ready to battle and fight. And when I say fight, I'm not talking about physically. I'm not talking about doing anything violent, but I'm just saying we have to stand up and we have to fight for our rights, and we have to protect our rights at all costs, because we have the regime of the Biden administration. They are really trying to take our liberties. When you have them getting together with the big tech and they trying to censor people for speaking their opinions, I mean, that's the First Amendment. That's what it's for people to be able to speak what they feel and then let people make their decision. When you have a person trying to tell you what to do, how to think, how to move, what to put in your body, what not to put in your body, that's a problem for me, and it should be a problem for you. But without further ado, let's go to the video, because I'm telling you, Don Bongino, he slaughtered her. She tried it, but she lost. She lost big time. So let's go. Hey.
Chairwoman of the Maryland Democratic Party, Maya Cummings. Maya, thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Dan.
Sure. So, Maya, isn't it racist to suggest black voters can't figure out their social security number or get a driver's license?
Let me tell you what's racist, Dan. I am a fourth-generation Texan, and I grew up with stories of my parents telling me that their parents were not able to vote in the state of Texas because they were black. And my parents grew up K through 12 in the Jim Crow Texas, meaning that they had to be forced to attend black-only schools, and they only got the right to vote in 1965. And I went to college in Texas at Prairie View A&M, where the white Republican infrastructure around that black college perpetually prevented students from trying to exercise their right to vote. So what is racist about Texas has been its historic efforts of white leaders in power to actually restrict the votes for minorities throughout the state. And now we're seeing this whole trend continue in the 21st century, and it's disheartening.
Let me pause real quick, because I need to make this make sense to me. To my own self. I need to tell my own self, dude, make it make sense. Listen, they are going out here and they're touting that 2020 was the year that had the most voters ever. We know that they're saying that President Biden got 81 million votes. Dude, come on, listen. But yet still, they want to keep rules in place that was for a one-time only circumstance due to COVID. So they changed the rules. Some of them were not done legally. We know that. The legislator is the one that actually comes up with the the voting rules and the guidelines, but yet and still they relaxed the rules because of COVID, because so many people are scared of COVID. So they had to mail out ballots in the masses, and yet and still they want to keep that in place because they like, if we won in 2020 by doing this, then we continue to win if we keep doing it the same way. No, it seems like now the pandemic is lifted. Don't it seem like we should be going back to the rules that we was working with before? Even in the Texas law, they're giving you more hours to vote. They're giving you more time to vote. And then what trips me out about black people, and I'm saying it because I'm black, sometimes we live in the past too much. This woman talking about she's a fourth generation Texan. Okay, that's fine. We already know that black people wasn't able to vote at a certain time. We know that. We get that. We get all that. But the thing is, we're talking about here and now. Ma'am, are you able to vote? That's the question. Are you able to vote? Are your children able to vote? Are your siblings or your mother, your father, are they able to vote? So I'm assuming that you was born after 1965. So these arguments that they bringing up are baseless to me. And I'm not saying that because I'm a conservative. I'm saying it because it's true. I'm saying it because I'm a black guy in America that has been in the rural South. I'm in North Carolina. I mean, come on now. North Carolina had its moments of, racism and discrimination as well. But the way they try to make things seem is like there's Ku Klux Klan members on every corner trying to, take over black people. That's not the case. So this is stuff that makes me mad about us, that we sit up here running this narrative and we don't understand that by de facto, we're becoming Marxists. We're becoming communists. We're becoming socialists, and it don't make no sense. Now, you got to go back to 1921. They always talk about what happened way back then, but black people was able to do something because wasn't it Joe Biden that got online and got on TV and was saying something about Tulsa and how they had Black Wall Street and how it was bombed and all this and the third. See, what trips me out about Democrats, and I'm just being real, and that's why I had to more or less align myself with the conservative party, and I have to vote Republican, but I'm a conservative. But when it comes down to it, the Democrats have did things for a long time. Jim Crow was under Democrats. We know that, right? Everybody that have history books and can read, they know that. But they don't want to talk about that. They don't want to talk about the Dixiecrats. They don't want to talk about all the stuff that Joe Biden has said about black people that was so disparaging and so negative. They don't want to talk about that. But they want to constantly talk about Donald Trump. She's going to bring him up too. So without further ado, let's go back to the video because I give my latter part of the commentary at the end. Let's go.
Yeah, I noticed you avoided my question, so I'll ask again. Why is it racist to ask black voters to produce ID? Why can't black voters produce ID, but white voters can?
Let me tell you what's racist about this bill. The Republicans are trying to force voter suppression tactics down the throats of Texans because they're afraid of the changing demographics in the state. We know that Houston went for Biden in 2020. We know that even Fort Worth went for Biden in San Antonio. And the Republicans in the state legislature are afraid of the changing demographics of the state and more people of color in power. And so what they're doing is trying to restrict the rights to vote, especially in those large majority Democratic districts in the larger areas, the larger demographic areas of the state. And so what's racist is this bill is seeking to roll back, voting rights for people who have expressed their intent to actually, have more voting rights.
Well, Maya, again, I appreciate you coming on, but you avoided my question twice. I'll give it one more shot. Why can't black Americans figure out how to get a driver's license or figure out their last four digits of their social? I'd really appreciate if you could ask that, because it would prove your point very simply.
I think that is really, really insulting for you to say that they can't figure it out. I mean,
do you see her try to change it on him? He was making a statement. So, I mean, can you explain to me why you feel that black people cannot get IDs or cannot remember the last four of their social? What is that about? They should go to my, well, I can't believe you said something. No, he was actually a question, idiot. But the thing is, and it makes me mad because it's so disingenuous for these people to sit up here and act this way, knowing, like I said again, the way they act like we're still in, like this is 1921. This is 2021. 100 years later, we have made so many strides. We have made so many leaps and bounds. And yet and still they want to keep us in this oppressive mindset. It pisses me off because the thing is, most of the people that I work with are Caucasian. They're white. And guess what? I make more money than them. It's not the fact that I make more money than them because I'm black. It's no, because I do what I have to do, and I went to school and I did what I had to do, and I educated myself, and so they paid me a little bit more to start than they did my white counterparts. Does that mean that they're white people are oppressed? I'm just sick of this argument that people are trying to act like black people are so incapable of doing things on their own. Now it's okay for us to go out here. We could pick up a gun that we don't know how to shoot and kill hundreds of people, and then yet and still we can steal cars. We can do all this stuff. We can sell drugs. In order to sell drugs and be able to make sure that you come out the right amount of money and know how to weigh the scales and all that, which I know nothing about, but I'm just saying. If you know how to do all this, and you know how to make all this money doing all these hustles, that means that you have some type of intelligence. So you telling me that you don't have enough wherewithal to go get an ID? I've been had an ID since I was 15. Since I was 15, I've been working since I was 15. So I've always had an ID. It may have been a state ID until I got my license, but they talking about even giving free IDs. So how in the whole heaven and hell you can't afford a free ID for you to vote? You cashing these checks. I'm quite sure when President Biden was sending out these stimulus checks and you didn't have a bank account, which most people do, that you have them cashing them checks. They cashing them checks that's coming from the government. They cashing them child support checks. Black people can do more than what you are trying to limit us to, ma'am. That's all I'm saying. It just makes me mad that they don't talk to us, the normal people that's not on TV, talk to regular people. You will find out how we feel. We have already told you we know how to get ID. We've already told you we know how to vote. But because they're saying, look, in order for you to get a mail-in ballot, you need to have your last four of your social. Who don't know that unless you're not legal? If you are an illegal immigrant, then you might not have a social, because social security numbers are only given to citizens of the country or the nation, however you want to put it. So these people think they're slick. The helper even said that Joe Biden won, Fort Worth and all this in 2022. Man, we haven't gotten there yet. Did you speak the quiet parts out loud? That's all I want to know. But let's go back because we got another few seconds of this. Let's go.
No. I'm asking. No. Time out. Time out. You're not going to do that. No. We're not doing that. No. We're not doing that here. No. You may get away with that on listeners not here.
What are you doing? Tell me what you're doing, Dan. I don't understand what you're doing. What are you doing?
I'm asking you because I believe it is not racist to ask a black voter to produce a driver's license, because just like white voters and Hispanic voters, black voters can get a driver's license. It's the Democrat Party arguing otherwise. Don't try to flip the script. I'm asking you the question.
This is
why
really
is it racist?
Stupid. This is really stupid.
You can't answer the question.
It's really stupid.
I'm asking you a simple question.
It's the stupidest question that I've ever heard.
And then when they are losing an argument, people do this in general. When they lose an argument, then they go with the insults. Oh, this is a stupid question. This is so stupid. That's the stupidest question I've ever been asked. Ma'am, I'm quite sure you've been asked more questions that was a little bit more stupid than what you are trying to deflect on him and try to say that was stupid. It's stupid for you to get on TV, national TV at that, and make a fool of yourself because he asked you a question succinctly. Isn't it, do you believe it's racist, or do you think it's something that black people are incapable of doing, of getting an ID or to use the last word of their social? And then when they ask you the question because you don't have an answer, then the first thing you could do is come with the insults. That's so stupid. No, ma'am. What you're saying right now is stupid. I'm just being real, and I'm a black brother, and I'm not a coon. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm not a coon. I'm from the hood. And I'm gonna tell you something. And because I don't really be wanting to go in like I can, I hold back. And I mean, it's just real. I'm not white. I don't want to be white. I love the black skin I'm in. But this stuff right here has been the downfall of the black community. When we sit up here and we took the New Deal and we say, look, give us a check, get rid of our fathers. Look what happened to the black community. Back in the day, even during slavery, during those hard times, the families stuck together. They did what they had to do. They made it happen. Remember the show Good Times? Good Times was a show. They lived in the projects, but James was there, and they couldn't stop until they got James out of the household. Now we got a single woman with children in the household because that's the picture they want you to see. But when James was there, it was a balance there. Florida respected her husband, and he respected her as his wife, and them kids respected him. It was even an episode on there where they did a study saying that, hey, it was proven that with the fathers being in the home, that the teenage pregnancy was very low. But now we seeing people like Cardi B and Lil Nas X and everybody else doing something crazy. But you want to fuss about somebody not having an ID? There's more things that are going on that is way bigger, that are way bigger than this. And you want to focus on this, ma'am? You dumb. Dumb.
Dan, please, come on.
How is it stupid?
You know that black voters, just like white voters across the United States, get driver's licenses. But we also know. We also know.
Thank you.
We also know that black voters tend to not drive at the same rate as white voters, and so there's a higher percentage of African Americans that do not have driver's licenses, and that is why we always seek to actually have additional forms of voting ID that are actually able to be presented at the voting polls. And what's interesting about Texas is they allow gun owners to present their gun cards to vote, and yet they won't allow students to use their student ID cards. And so, you've got a problem in Texas. The problem with Texas is it has historically been racist, and it continues to this day.
Yeah, well, you just basically discredited the entire Democrat argument against voter. You understand that, right? Like, you made the Republican point. We've been saying forever,
and we appreciate you doing that.
No, you did, and we appreciate you doing that.
No,
backing
Dan,
the
let me tell
Republican
you
position that black voters are perfectly capable of getting a driver's license and their social security number. You made our point.
I told you.
And we really thank you for doing that.
Dan, I told you that black voters have a higher percentage of non-drivers, and that means that we have to have more forms of voting for all kinds of people.
Do they have social security numbers? I'm out of time. Do they have a social security number?
Dan, absolutely.
The black voters have a social security number.
Absolutely.
They do.
Absolutely.
So they can put the last 4 digits of their social in too, or are you suggesting they don't know that either? Just
let me tell you about the GOP in Texas and in Georgia and in places across the country.
You've done that.
What's happening is that Donald Trump lied about the 2020 election, and now they're trying to push through lies based on a lie. They're trying to push through, basically voter suppression tactics to try to justify their fact that they don't actually want to actually compete for minority
voters. We've given you the opportunity to come on the network and defend your position, and you can't do it. You can't do it. All you can do is bring up Donald Trump. Really pathetic. All right, thanks, Maya. We appreciate your time.
Take care.
If there was a
it's so funny. Hence the woman that's sitting there with Korean hair or Brazilian. It's not her. It's not her hair. If you're so proud to be black, then why are you not wearing a natural, sister? You talk about these races and talk about all this stuff, but you got another race hair in your head. Make it make sense to me, please. These people are so in this, just crazy, and they make these arguments, and they know what they're saying is invalid. So again, like I said, you get an attitude. You try to, deflect and make it somebody else's problem, make it somebody else's issue. I just don't understand. And last I checked, when I was riding the bus, because God's been good, I got a car. Thank God for that. And I worked for it and I paid for it and paid it all. And but when I rode the bus, I seen plenty of white people on the bus. As a matter of fact, my car was in the shop the other day and I had to catch the bus to the shop to get my car. And guess who was on there? White people. So what she's saying that black people don't drive, that's a lie. Most black people, some drive even without driver's license. I'm just saying. I did for 10 years. Thank God I got my license straightened out, but I used to ride dirty. So don't tell me that, there's nothing that black people can do to try to make themselves legal or do what they have to do. No, I think you're trying to argue for the illegals that is being smuggled into this country. You don't want the people from Cuba here because, if they come from Cuba, you already know that those people are going to probably vote Republican. And so y'all scared of that because they already know what being under a tyrannical government looks like. They already know what it looks like to be under a communist. They already know what it looks like to be under a bunch of trained Marxists. But in America, because we're playing along to get along, if we like those stimulus checks and those checks they're giving you for income, earn income credit for your children, whatever it's called, they give you all this and the third. They give you all these crumbs because they want to get your power. But the thing is, most of us need to go back to work, get a job, do what we have to do, and make it do what it do. Until we do, the government going to continue to be in our business because you have Biden and his regime talking about even monitoring people's text messages so they cannot send out misinformation over COVID. Make it make sense to me. I'm sick of this, man. But I just want to share that with y'all guys today. Hope you guys enjoy y'all Sunday. As always, again, if you like the content, like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you don't, that's fine. Let me know that too, because I like to have some dialogue with you guys. I mean, I'm not always right, but in this case, I'm right. Y'all know it. But that's it. Get ready to eat some dinner or what have you. And I pray that you guys have a blessed day and y'all stay up and stay blessed. And I will see y'all soon. Peace.